Y'all, not Blu Cantrell allegedly popping out a secret love baby with Jay-Z. And now word on the block is that Beyoncé allegedly made sure the world stayed clueless. Rumor has it that back when Blu and Jay were wrapped up in the early 2000s, things ran way deeper than anyone guessed. Their little fling? Yeah, it might have come with a whole baby, and allegedly, Queen Bee made sure it stayed buried. But here's the kicker. Insiders claim this kid is still being kept deep in the shadows today, and not by chance. Beyoncé allegedly made it crystal clear, if Blu ever opened her mouth, she'd regret it. So now we gotta ask, was this gossip gone rogue, or did Blu really get gagged? For real. And what skeletons does Jay-Z still keep hanging? Because baby, once you start connecting dots, things start looking real shady. So let's get into it. He was cheating. She was cheasin' in a Beamer. Just cheasin'. And how you let your man creep when Beyoncé don't play when it comes to Jay-Z. If anybody learned that the hard way, it was Blu Cantrell. Back when Jay and B were just becoming Hollywood's golden couple, whispers were flying that Blu and Jay had some behind-the-scenes heat. Folks brushed it off as typical celeb mess until now. Because according to Fresh Tea, Blu didn't just hook up with Jay-Z, she allegedly got pregnant. And when Beyoncé found out, oh honey, she allegedly cleaned house fast. Word is, Blu got hushed and the baby? Completely hidden from the limelight just to protect the J&B brand. But oh, it gets juicier. Because apparently, Blu didn't just get knocked up, she allegedly had the baby, meaning Jay-Z may have even more secret kids than we thought. Now, here's where it turns into full-blown soap opera territory. The streets say that once Beyoncé got wind of the baby drama, she didn't just side-eye Blu, she shut her entire career down. Allegedly, Queen Bee made sure Blu paid for touching her man. And just like that, Blu's rising star flatlined. One moment, she had a hit track and was climbing, next, poof, gone. Now folks are rewatching that fall from fame like, wait, was this baby the reason Blu disappeared? And as wild as it sounds, some fans caught on to the triangle tea a long time ago. See, back in the mid-90s, Blu Cantrell and Jay-Z were linked heavy, enough for people to wonder if it was more than studio time. Blu was still singing background for big dogs like Diddy, and boom, she meets Jay-Z. The chemistry? Phew, it had people whispering hard. Now buckle up, cause it gets worse. While Jay's getting cozy with Blu, he's also actively chasing Beyoncé. Like, out loud. So why is he still vibing with Blu on the side? Well, remember, Jay had already been heartbroken when things fell apart with Aaliyah. So when B entered the picture, he wasn't ready to bet everything. That's where Blu came in. Insiders say Jay kept her around as his backup girl, just in case things with B didn't hit right. And let's be real, Blu and Jay were tight. So yeah, the whole thing was giving double life. And what really had tongues wagging? Jay kept the triangle going even when things were heating up with B. But Blu? She kept denying it all. Problem is, nobody was buying it, especially with Beyoncé right there in the frame. From the outside, Blu looked like she was dodging drama, trying not to be the side chick. But her bond with Jay made it hard to believe otherwise. And then came the moment that sent it all spiraling, her interview with Wendy Williams. And baby, this was Wendy at full throttle. Wendy went straight for the throat, asking Blu if she and Jay were a thing. And Blu's answer? A whole disaster. Because while she technically denied it, her energy said, "Girl, yes." And it was the way she deflected for people. You could tell she wasn't ready for Wendy's fire. When Wendy asked, "Did you ever kiss Jay-Z romantically?" Blu said, no. I can't answer that. I can't. Girl, what? She was literally touching her neck. Even Wendy had to say it. Why won't folks let the Jay-Z and Blu story go? And the truth? Because Blu just fueled the fire.
You know what? I'm used to talking to other female artists who perhaps don't have that same eye.
You know what? And I don't knock it, because my mother did it.
Have you ever kissed Jay-Z romantically?
No. No, I can't answer that. I can't answer that.
Oh, she's touching him up the neck! Look! You see?
Why do people not want to let the Jay-Z Blu Cantrell thing go?
Now Blu Cantrell had 1,000 ways she could have clapped back, but sis picked none. She could have shut it down like a pro, flipped the script on Wendy, or even hit us with a classy high road exit. But nope, she giggled, danced around the question, and basically threw gasoline on the gossip fire. Instead of killing the noise, she turned the whispers into full-blown sirens. And the real kicker? It wasn't even her shaky denial. It was the chaos that came next. Because you already know Wendy Williams wasn't gonna stop at the messy love triangle. Oh no, she went nuclear and brought up an old theory that's been marinating for years, that Jay-Z picked Beyoncé. Just because she was younger. And instead of dodging like most guests with a PR team, Blu leaned in like it was happy hour. She didn't just nod, she doubled down, saying age wasn't the thing at all. According to her, Jay didn't want an equal. He wanted someone young, pliable, and easy to shape. And in her exact words, that's exactly what he saw in Beyoncé.
I didn't think it would last though.
What, me and him?
Yeah,
Why?
because you're above 25.
Why, he needs somebody younger than
At
that?
the end of the day, yeah.
Why did you say that?
Because I think at the end of the day, a younger, less savvy to the ways of the world broad.
Somebody a little bit more naive.
You said it, not me.
You're good at,
Do you know what I mean? Do you know
good
what I
at
mean?
making me say things.
Yeah, I just thought that you were too.
I think that they're great for each other, so I don't knock it. I can't hate.
But oh honey, things got even messier when Blu Cantrell sat down with The Guardian. They tossed her a direct question about Beyoncé, and instead of slamming the door shut, Blu kicked it wide open and made the whole situation explode. She said, I'm an adult. She's younger. And if she's doing what you're saying, then she's being a little immature. Maybe she's just doing it for press. But she needs to understand if she goes there with me, it's the wrong move. She needs to know that what she's doing and what she's getting into. She even dragged Jay-Z into the mess, claiming, if she is being negative, she doesn't need to be because she's a beautiful girl. But if you got issues with your man, take it up with him. Don't come for the woman. That's never the right way to handle it. And that's when it hit. Whatever beef was bubbling between Blu and Beyoncé wasn't just some cute industry shade. Nah, this was deep-rooted drama. Back then, nobody had the full picture. But now that the tea's spilling about Beyoncé allegedly forcing Jay-Z to deny a secret baby with Blu, and then allegedly snatching Blu's whole career? Oh baby, it's all starting to click. And honestly, it makes sense why Blu's been carrying that grudge-like designer baggage all these years. But wait, here's where things really start to spiral, because this ain't the first time Beyoncé has been accused of making sure Jay-Z kept his alleged love children on mute. Word is, she laid it out. The only kids Jay's allowed to publicly love are the ones they made together. And once they both fessed up to his cheating, that alleged pressure hit the stratosphere. Because if there's one thing Queen Beyoncé ain't about to do, it's let another woman's child wear the Carter crown. Y'all remember Rammer Satterthwaite, right? Jay's alleged hidden son who's been clawing for his identity for over a decade? Well, his legal guardian says Beyoncé was allegedly working overtime behind the scenes to keep him silenced. And according to investigative reporter Liz Crokin, this wasn't some petty rumor off a fan forum. Nah, Ramir and his guardian, Dr. Lily, said they were hit with years of intimidation, and not just with lawsuits. They even claimed Ramir got shot at after dragging Jay to court. Dr. Lily fully believes Beyoncé wasn't just watching from the sidelines, she allegedly helped keep Jay far away from the DNA test. Liz Crokin even hinted that Beyoncé and Jay-Z may have tossed subtle jabs at Ramir in their lyrics, turning the boy's real-life trauma into chart-topping shade. And after allegedly receiving threat after threat from Beyoncé, Ramir and his guardian finally sat down for an interview to let the truth rip wide open.
The Beyoncé thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp,
Okay.
and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay,
Okay.
about regarding saying Ramir needs to go away, little boy, something to that effect. There was something out there
Right.
with the song they made. And then next thing I know, somebody was at my property.
His guardian wasn't holding back. She spilled that multiple insiders had already told her it was Beyoncé whispering in Jay-Z's ear allegedly convincing him to dodge that DNA test like his legacy depended on it.
We heard it.
Right.
That whole case crazy. That's so
That
crazy.
is
I mean, it could be a coincidence, may not be. Who knows? But
Yeah, that's why I
people
said
were
we
saying that she's a big part of the problem for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not. She would have some sort of role in
Right.
what her husband does, and
Right.
if she was secure with herself and with the situation, not saying you gotta like it,
Right.
she would help her husband handle it
Right.
because
Now here's where the plot thickens. After battling for 15 years to force Jay-Z into a DNA test, a judge finally gave the green light. This was the moment Ramir had been waiting for. But out of nowhere, he suddenly pulled the plug, dropped the lawsuit with zero explanation. And guess what the streets are whispering now? That Beyoncé allegedly swooped in again, right when Jay was about to cough up that DNA. The theory? She found a way to allegedly spook Ramir into walking away, be it legal pressure, shady threats, or something even darker behind the scenes. Whatever it was, it worked. The case vanished, and so did the truth about Jay-Z's supposed son. But hold up, Ramir wasn't the only one stirring the pot. A few years back, yet another alleged Jay-Z kid came forward, a woman named Letitia Mercer. And baby, she didn't come with hints, she came out swinging. In a bold post, she dropped this bombshell. I've been quiet for far too long. Join me as I tell you my story of living in the shadows of being Jay-Z's daughter in a city where everyone knew he was my father. And to throw gasoline on the fire, she claimed she already took a DNA test that allegedly proved Jay-Z was her biological dad. And in her own dramatic words, facts number 1, it was just confirmed with Ancestry DNA. They have a 99% accuracy. Number 2, I'm now coming forward because referred to fact number 1. Number 3, my mother tried to reach out to him. Child support doesn't work to send for celebrities as it does with your baby daddy. She was geared up to spill the receipts, and unlike Ramir, she had a whole crew who knew the truth and were ready to back her. But then boom, silence. Out of nowhere, her posts vanished. Social media wiped clean. Poof, like she never existed. And her close friends? Oh, they said that wasn't just a coincidence. Word is, sis got paid off quietly. And honestly, it tracks. Because if there's one thing about Miss Beyoncé, it's that she will not let anyone scuff up the polished little empire she built. Any baby drama, betrayal, or unfinished business, she's allegedly scrubbing it before it hits the press. So while Letitia secured her secret bag, Blu Cantrell wasn't so blessed. And now we're all sitting here wondering, are we ever gonna see this mystery Jay-Z kid? Would Beyoncé even let us? Allegedly. But now it's all clicking. Blu's sudden fade from fame, the shady vibes with Beyoncé, and the whispers of a hidden child that just won't die down. Whether or not Blu got gagged, the pattern's too loud to ignore. Jay-Z's maybe babies keep popping up and somehow disappearing like clockwork. But the real question? How far will Beyoncé go to keep her legacy squeaky clean? Because if Blu really had his baby and Beyoncé really erased it, then that wasn't just some side chick mess. That was a whole scandal that got deleted before it exploded. And if you're asking who else got paid, silenced, or shoved off stage to protect the Carter brand, baby, then this story ain't crazy, it's just getting started.